Hi, I'm Ashleigh from SoCo Realty, and I've got a quick case study to do with you for a landlord insurance claim. So we had a tenant that was in a property paying $300 per week. She moved in, she paid 2 weeks of rent in advance, she paid her bond, and then we didn't receive any more rent after that. We might have received a couple of weeks, but that was probably all. So what happens in that situation is you send out a 14-day breach notice followed by a 7-day termination. You always need to allow for postage as well. So that 3 weeks worth of notices plus 1 to maybe 2 weeks is extreme, but 1 to 2 weeks say of postage allowance means that the owner was already out of pocket about 4 and a bit weeks before we applied to the courts. So then we applied to the courts and it was another 3 to 4 week waiting time, and then we got a vacant possession order. Now she had abandoned the property, so it was a little bit different, but ultimately what it meant was that when a new tenant was found, because we started advertising, it was 10 weeks of loss of rent for our client. So our client has landlord insurance, so a good landlord insurance should only cost you between $250 to $300 per year, so it's pretty cost effective. What you're looking for in a landlord insurance policy is a no excess for loss of rent and low excesses for other items such as malicious damage and accidental damage. There shouldn't really be any excesses on much, especially loss of rent. So if you are comparing policies, just keep that in mind. So this tenant, and I've just got the claim form here, what I wanted to go through was that it wasn't a situation where it was, a horrible, malicious, gone into the property and it's an absolute nightmare. It was loss of rent. There was $60 worth of water usage outstanding, $286 for rubbish removal. So that was for a couch, a washing machine, and a couple of other things that were left in the property, not anything major. There was $147 for damage to the property, so that was just a fly wire and a couple of minor little items, certainly not massive. A final clean was $440. Cleaners are really expensive these days, so $440 is quite normal for a 2-bedroom unit. Carpet cleaning of $170. Change of locks was $374. So another pricey exercise, but not a massive drama. It's just that the keys weren't returned, so we changed all the locks. And then $50 worth of gardening. So the example that I wanted to give to you was contractors are quite pricey these days. So it all adds up. So that total of that claim came to about $3,500. So our owner would have been out of pocket that much money if they didn't have landlord insurance, and that's a minor claim. So when I say minor claim, that was a minor situation with the tenant. It wasn't that the tenant left the place like revolting. It was just normal, simple things that needed to be arranged when the tenant left. So $3,500 for that, and for a low rent property is a really good example of what claims can cost. So I just wanted to share that with you. The other things with landlord insurance to keep in mind is that good policies will be available for only for property managers access. So it means if you're a private landlord, it's going to be hard to get these insurances, or they're good policies anyway in place. If you would like a template of what a good landlord insurance policy should cover, and you want to use as a comparison against maybe a policy that you've taken out privately, just give me a call on 0416 352 679 and I will send that through to you. And good just to do a little bit of a cross check on your policy, and yeah, again, making sure that your policy is under $300 per week. There's not any reason to pay more than that on landlord insurance these days. Thank you.